In Miss Nikki's first grade class at Cedar Bluff High School, we use Reading Street by Scott Forsman. It's published through Pearson. There are no other programs that are used directly with it, but it has supplemental materials like the skill cards and an online workbook. I really like the skill cards because it provides the students with a picture to go along with whatever skill they're focused on. Like this past week was short U, so it had an umbrella. And then obviously it had information for the CT to read off to them. And the online workbook is really great. It's a good way to bring technology into the reading block. And I couldn't imagine doing it without it because it's a way for everyone to see the same thing and be on the same page the whole way through. There's no confusion or chaos. Their reading block goes from about 8:15 to 10:40 right up through lunchtime. So they spend their basically whole morning working on the reading program. There's also the center time. The center rotation goes on at this time, so she's able to pull her tier 2 group to work with them, which every group rotates back to work with her, but that's key time for those kids that need the double dip with it. She likes this program because it does have the supplemental materials and it makes it a lot easier to go through. The only negative that I have been able to find with it, which is really not even a big deal, is that the phonics program, they use the Blast Off Phonics, it is not lined up with the reading, so it's focusing on two different skills. This past week reading was short U, but the past phonics was CH, TCH, and DGE digraphs and trigraphs. So with a struggling group, I could see where that would be really difficult, but sorry, there was a bug. But our kids do really well with it, so it's not an issue for us, but I could see where it could be an issue. The students are very engaged with this program, especially with the online workbook. That's a good way to have everybody involved. And the stories, every unit starts out with a picture page, and it depicts a scene, and it depicts a scene with a lot of various objects that cover that skill. Like the short U page, it was like a camping scene, so there were bugs, they were drinking from little tin cups, somebody called it a mug, so there was just a lot of visuals that had to do with that short U sound. And I like that because, as we've learned in Lit Block so far, it really helps them pull that phonemic focus in, so they're having to listen and think about the sound before they're actually reading it. So I really like that. The stories that I have been there for so far have been nonfiction, so they're really good informational text. That's a good way for the students to connect it to like real world activities or real world scenarios. The leveled readers they have also, there are some across the content, so it's not just a narrative story. There's social studies, science, stuff like that they're able to pull for the different levels. The online workbook is a great way for the technology to be involved in this, and the students really do seem to like it. So I think overall it's a great program to use.